Well, Trent, things looking straightforward laning-wise. 6 heroes down bottom, though.
Are they? I don't know. There's a Drow in the mid lane right now. She's thinking about getting some blocks off for her buddy Fada, you know? Making sure that he can have a nice time on the Razor while he's actually the one committing there. Oh, look at that beautiful face of Whip-S.
Oh, yes.
But MC just going to scout out the rune here for now. So Ramsey's TB, solo silencer. Sven's done here too.
We'll see a fight over the bounties, and Mind Control going to take a lot of damage. He'll make it back to his side of the river with a few taunts in tow. Bounties will be 2 apiece. Even spread so far.
So there's an Enigma in the mid lane.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
He's going to be up top on the Dragonite. We'll see the rotation now from the Sven, so it will break into dual lanes.
The old mid Enigma, you know, classic stuff. Up against the Razor, finding an answer where this Razor, of course, would have a very nice time against the DK in lane. Thanks to Static Link, Pasha's just going to ignore that.
Yeah, Ace having to walk all the way back up to the top lane right now. Right now, Saksa is solo up against these two.
That fabulous +2 damage. I mean, can easily hold his own here.
It'll add up, though. Which draft do you favor, though, Trent? Do you have an edge based on draft alone either side?
I'm going for VP. I think I just tend to favor the one that seems easier to execute. I agree with everything the panel was saying in terms of like this Brewmaster. Mind Control can certainly help control this game with the Purge. But it's going to be very difficult, right? Like, you're talking about like ensuring that you get it every time on the Warcry, but to me, that damage reduction from the side of Virtus.pro looks very irritating to play into. Between a Crimson Guard from the Enigma, the Warcry, and then also just like Breathe Fire and everything adding up. Plenty of reasons.
Yeah, and even though that Purge on the Brewmaster sounds great on paper, VP still have to be clumped up for that opportunity to be there. And of course, you're locked onto the cooldown of the Brewmaster ultimate, so not something you're always going to have at your disposal. Mind Control taking a lot of harassment down in this bottom lane.
I think it's going to be a lot of a back and forth this match between Global Silence and the Brewmaster split, and we're just going to be looking for like the timings of those fights in the mid game. Who's going to be getting the edge there and finding the fights when they want on their own terms. As everyone dropping pretty low. Now the Reflection bottom.
This could be our first blood here. Mind Control, he will go down to Ramses as he finds that last auto attack. First blood goes out for Virtus.pro.
And 2 intelligence there for Solo to get things started. Big brain captain getting a little bit bigger.
Very intrigued by this mid lane, though. Seems to be favoring Fada, at least for now. 9-4 on the Razor compared to the 6-3 Enigma. Wonder if that will shift a little bit as the Enigma gets a few more levels under his belt.
The main problem is that it's just a frustrating thing for Razor because Razor's supposed to be this lane dominator, and now he's in a lane where there's constantly being pulled back.
Right.
And it's just being something that you can't instantly dominate the entire lane like you want to as a Razor.
Down bottom, we'll see PPD take some harassment from Solo. The curse has already come out. This Winter Wyvern should be able to survive here, I think.
He is 6 HP from level 2, just makes it so he can't really trade with Solo at the moment.
Gonna try to wrap around the tree line here. Not ideal for this Wyvern.
Yeah,
now the TP and he'll be good. Up top, Roger looking for a creep cut, and it looks like it'll be a successful endeavor. Try to get some lane control back their way.
Not the most fun last thing under Towers Drow, but should be all right. Bottom lane, just like PPD, also coming back to this lane, not TPing home, just ensuring the Mind Control can continue to have his presence here. 6-4 versus the 10, and 10-7 for Ramses. Man, that's a lot of deny stacking up for him. And right back at it now with another meta. Yeah,
hard for the Brewmaster to sustain. You can see how much damage Ramses does with these auto attacks. Even with the Stout Shield, just cuts right through it. Going back towards the mid, even though, like you mentioned, it's maybe not the best matchup for a Razor in terms of denies. He's having a grand old time, going to steal some more damage from Pasha and still able to maintain this lane presence up to 9 denies himself.
Yeah, I noticed Pasha also hasn't been like targeting down the range creeps either. So still getting some decent experience Fada's way. Not really losing out on that battle like he might have thought him to.
Bottom lane now, Mind Control. Once again, taking a lot of damage, but they might be able to turn it onto Solo. Ramses loses his Metamorphosis and won't be able to find a kill.
The other part that I worry about this draft in terms of like for Virtus.pro, it feels like they can also just get off to a really quick start, right? Like we're talking about how it kind of feels like going later and later, it's just gonna look really good for Virtus.pro, but even right off the bat, if they get a good start in these lanes, like things are kind of going for them right now, then you can easily start shoving down towers with a DK and a Terrorblade.
Yeah, I guess one cause for concern, though, is the side lane DK, and lower on experience than you'd normally expect. having to share with Roger's Sven.
Yeah, they'd really like to get a couple kills up here, just because you got a double stun lane. You're always a little disappointed if you're not creating kill opportunities there, but the creep management has been very good from NiP, so they're ensuring that the Drow's either safely in the tower. Well, there you go.
Yeah, we'll see the stun onto Saksa. There's the wind run away. No one actually does not have Dragon Tail skilled up, so it's a single stun lane.
Yeah, so
for
much
now.
for the double stun lane, right?
Yeah. Solo with an invisibility rune. We're getting close to the first set of bounties.
Oh, can he steal it?
Gonna be close, but Fada comes in, brings him down really low. Solo still able to grab it.
I think they might have known.
He will deny himself to the neutrals, though.
Nice play.
VP will find the advantage with the bounties. 3-1. Now Ramsey's down in the bottom lane, slowed down, but not even close to a kill.
Yeah, and these levels are just so nice right now for Ramses. Like, you're looking for a potential kill threat when the Brewmaster hits 7, but Ramsey's gonna be well ahead of him at this point.
You feel like this mid lane is backfired a little bit for VP. It doesn't seem like Fada's been slowed down at all. He's #1 on CS and still have a lot of denies.
Yeah, he's pretty much just been running up in under the tower and everything too, so no real concern. Now he's trying to make a rotation, actually, it looks like. He's heading towards that top lane. Gonna rely on Soxen here with a shackle.
Yep. Ranger stunned up. There's the double stun as no one gets close. Soxa trying to do what he can, but now Fada's here. He's ready to turn things around. He starts stealing damage from no one, and this DK will be done for. The Sven was able to TP home, but it's NiP that turned things around.
Yeah, that was a really nice rotation there. Ace just kind of walking perhaps a little too close intentionally, baiting out the stun, causing him to go on the Drow, and then suddenly Fada shows up for the cleanup crew. And at least a quick TPO from Roger will save his own life, but of course, big victory for them. As Fada's going to stick around for a little bit here with the siege wave.
Yeah, siege creep's still standing. Looks like Soxa might want to rotate mid, but he's just going to head back to the lane. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, PPD taking a lot of damage, and he'll fall to the wrath of the Terror Blade silencer combo.
Yeah, they'll get one back now, 2-1. And now Mind Control, he finds a haste rune, but it's only 4.5 right now on this Panda. So, oh, well, Solo's pretty low, though. No mana required.
Smoke from Roger, wrapping around the mid lane, looking for an opening onto Ace.
Yeah, Solo, indeed feeling it. Ramses is still holding the point here.
Smoke breaks, Malefice to start things off, the Stormhammer to follow. Do they have the damage for this? They'll need a few more. The Black Hole deployed. Soxa not able to interrupt it. Fada will TP in. Now they'll try to turn onto Pasha, but the TP will go. It's a clean kill for Virtus.pro.
Tips back and forth. And meanwhile, just making all the space for Ramses down here. Nice and safe. Still holding in case he needs the Sunder, and that's a good moment for it.
Mind Control now in trouble. He'll try to TP out, but it'll be close, and he makes it. Roger on the back line. There's the stun onto the Winter Wyvern. They'll still pick up one. VP strike once more.
A lot of rotations coming out early in this match. Not really a strict 2-1-2 as we've been used to over the past couple of months. Feels like Roger's heading all over the place. We've already had Fada and Ace swap their lanes too to try and get some more levels stacked up with this Drow Ranger. She's still 4. Heading at the 8-minute mark versus the now level almost 8 Pasha in the mid lane.
A lot of pressure on Fada right now to keep up this momentum. The only one on his team that's farming well. He's getting a lot of space up in the top lane, trying to give Ace this space mid. But it's not really much. Roger is in hot pursuit, and he's going to continue to repel this Drow Ranger.
Yeah, just constantly bullying her, too.
Look at this. He knows she only has limited space to farm. He drops another stun. I think unlikely to find a kill here, but still not letting Ace get anything. Roger likely to toss his life away for this. The Courier almost goes down, but they get the immunity off and do punish that rotation.
I don't know if he thought like he could just scare her,
Bold.
or what. I guess. I mean, clearly he didn't expect the other two supports to be lingering around a Drow who's jungling. That's pretty understandable, but still would have had a pretty hard time at getting the kill himself there.
I guess the Arctic Burn also helping out the Winter Wyvern to hop over the hill there and actually make it to help the Drow.
No, that means Ramses, one of the benefits of the Terror Blade, you just head into the jungle. Farm up yourself, get some space in the lane to some of these greedier supports. So it'll be going toe-to-toe with Mind Control and the Brewmaster here. Roger will have to be a bit cautious. Single shackle, he could easily go down, and Mind Control is just closing in on that level 6. Roger never going to quite know when it's going to hit him. At the same time, you've got Fada doing
Solo. He's going to move into the enemy territory. He finds Ace. Might not have the damage for this, but again forces the Drow Ranger to TP home, further delaying that level 6.
Man, slowing down that marksmanship is just really hurting this whole strat overall.
It's unrelenting pressure into enemy territory. Great vision as well.
And the thing is, like, you've got a Razor doing the same thing, right? Where Fada's rotating through that dire jungle, farming it up. I mean, he's actually been holding the Eye of the Storm for a while, which is something a little unusual. Like, a lot of Razors will constantly just kind of spam it to keep the farm pace up. But while he's been doing that, no one's been soaking up top lane. No one's been comfortable enough to, like, sit there with no one. He could easily pop the Dragon Form, go for a stun on you, maybe you just die. So they end up giving up control there, losing their bounty runes. At least in the bottom lane, they will secure the other two. Oh, Pasha, if he was maybe had that black hole, but still another 10 seconds away, could have considered it for the easy solo.
Yeah, PPD going to survive that one. And finally, Ace gets his level 6, so marksmanship is online. Up top, Fada continuing to put on pressure. Level 9 compared to this level 7 Dragonite, but there's the Dragon Tail. Ramses rotates in. Metamorphosis is used. Fada just tries to TP out, and it will work.
Good read there on the play. Make sure no one's there. Shackle on the bottom lane onto Roger. Now with the clap, but raindrops and a straight TP.
They've got the boulder, and this time Sven will be interrupted. Does drop the stun to try to make the escape, but nowhere to go. Saksa also joining the party in the tree line, and we'll finish him off with a power shot to the face.
Yeah, so siege waves on both towers now. However, this one's a little bit more terrifying with the Dragon Form as well as the Metamorphosis going. You gotta expect the Radiant to take top quicker and potentially have a chance to rotate to the bottom lane, especially with that black hole once again still up and available here.
Yeah, not the best sieging prowess down in this bottom lane, but
they
there
want
will
that
be a
mid.
rotation up top. Fada and PPD going in onto no one. He's trying to finish off this tower, and it looks like he will get it. However, it'll be denied by Fata, and Fada also gets that kill. Looks like that will open up for VP to take that tower mid, as you mentioned.
Yeah, that is a nice deny, but losing your mid tower, of course, the most pivotal one in terms of overall map control here. Perhaps Peter can also find the deny, and he does!
Wow.
In the middle of Eidolons, yeah, tip well deserved here.
Okay. Still 2 towers down, though, and in the bottom lane, they didn't even finish off that tier 1 as Ramses is rotated back down and repelled the push, finishing off that siege creep. So despite the denies, we'll still call it a victory for VP in terms of map control. Global silence used.
I think, I'm not sure if that was intentional.
Interesting.
It seemed a little unusual.
All right, well, no harm done, I suppose. Back to the bottom lane. Mind control takes a stun from the Sven. Follow up from Pasha. There is a black hole available here. He will try to hold on to it.
All right.
They will still secure the kill.
I mean, they still get the kill. You know, he didn't accidentally pick a Drow Ranger, or in this case, the Terrorblade or something, so we'll take the misclick on the global and just move that right into the tower.
Well, maybe now some continual sieging from Virtus.pro in the bottom lane, or no, maybe just going to head back to farming. Pasha has picked up that Helm of the Dominator already on the Enigma, and about halfway to that Blink Dagger coming up next. So it looks like Blink Dagger going to be the item of choice on no one's DK, who's still getting a lot of space up in this top lane. Not too far off.
Wow, Tread's Blink. Very aggressive build, but when you have a Terrorblade in your team, you can do that kind of stuff. You just need to be this like frontliner, meat shield, and then backed up by a spend too. So I like the idea here from no one. Just looking to be the playmaker, set him up for the easy one-timers.
Yeah, definitely fits this kind of high-octane Dota we should be looking at here, especially in the mid-game. I mean, both teams just have so much ability to punish objectives once they win a team fight. Bottom lane could see some action break out. Pasha all by his lonesome.
NiP are setting up pretty hard here. I mean, they've got the ward in behind now, plays from PPD. They won't see anyone trying to rotate along the tree line. Tower's so low, it looks like it should just be such a free one, especially with the split. Curious to see if they're going to attempt any sort of a backup play here for Pasha. Again, with that black hole still available.
Yeah, another item just picked up here. Could be a good reveal. They'll try to finish off his Centaur. That'll be a step in the right direction. Level 1 Midnight Pulse.
They're trying to take advantage right now. It's like Pasha's trying to hold that for as long as you can, and that was the end of it, but they're smoking into the mid lane. Maybe hoping there'll be some sort of rotation on the Ramses.
Yeah, Metamorphosis recently deployed, about half duration left.
This is a really long wraparound, but they haven't seen any heroes for a while.
Both teams with vision right here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
NiP in a very precarious situation right now.
It's all squished down that one part of the map. At this point, as VP, like, it took them so long to take this tower, you're pretty happy with this. You've been getting a lot of farm across your heroes. They've got 4 heroes who essentially aren't farming. They've got the Panda on the lane. I guess Drow took 1 camp. So I call that pretty good use of your time if you're Virtus.pro.
Tower does end up getting finished off, maybe hoping to give that one to Mind Control to close the gap on that Blink Dagger. But they do open up this Radiant jungle nonetheless. Now we'll see where NiP go for this.
I'm sure if you're NiP right now, you're looking, it's 15 minutes, you're a Drow lineup. I don't think you're feeling too great about how your game's been going right now. You've only gotten one tower, arguably like the easiest one to take in most games too. Especially when you traded for essentially 2 towers to do it, so definitely into crunch time, but they can also explode out of one very good fight, looking towards things like Roche or just a very quick tower siege.
Well, they will find Roger. Bounty runes come out. VP grab 2. It looks like NiP will be able to grab the others on their side of the map. Another even spread.
And Virtus.pro, on the other hand, like, I don't think they're really too concerned about the pacing here. Nice vision put down from PVD once again, spotting all 3 of these heroes kind of lurking in the area. So no one going to get caught by this Blink Dagger and no one, but he will keep the pressure up on the tower while Ramses goes to cut mid there with that siege wave. Make sure he can push this away. Instantly blinks the tether.
A couple of sentries down up here, but not going to find those observer wards. Both teams playing very cautious right now, Trent.
Yep. Blink Dagger will be the choice here for Pasha, so he's going to be, I don't know, it's a pretty tough game for a Blink Dagger, honestly. I mean, it's also difficult with the Black Hole because the winner's curse, but decently long-range stuns and silences coming out here from the side of NiP, so he's going to have to either wait till they're all used or just kind of YOLO and try and catch like 2 or 3 heroes in these Black Holes.
Yeah, we were thinking this Enigma might actually go for the Crimson Guard, but instead it's going to be the Sven that picks it up. Already has that buckler.
Yeah, this one problem with support Sven though, especially because you have to farm in towards the Warcry, or like rather build in towards it. I mean, it makes sense, you're against a Drow lineup, so in that way, I guess you can kind of delay the Crimson Guard, right? Like 20 armor, that's a lot of armor at 16 minutes in the game. So it's not a major rush for the Enigma to straight up go for it. I wouldn't mind seeing just like straight up Greaves though, honestly, instead of the Blink Dagger, but Pasha's already getting some use out of it, dodging a couple skills there, allowing him to farm a little bit deeper inside NiP territory. And they fail on that smoke, and they fail to really make any progress in the last 2 minutes. They are keeping up in terms of net worth, though. But again, I don't know if keeping pace at the moment right now is going to be enough for NiP.
Definitely feels a little bit scary. This Drow Ranger now is the Dragon Lance. Looks like Shadow Blade going to be the choice after that, but still a lot of farming to do. Closing in on that level 2 marksman also. Drow Ranger is always scary in these kind of even farm games, though, Trent, because late game, she will come online. Give her enough time, and she is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Well, there's also a Terrorblade.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That too.
And that guy's pretty spooky. Stronger
now
you are,
mid
the stronger
lane.
he is.
Initiation onto Fada. No one with the first stun. Roger with the follow-up. Do they actually have the damage to find this kill, though? The Razor's very tanky with that Sanj and drums. Winner's Curse on the Dragon Knight will stop the assault, and they keep Fada alive.
Got a little dicey there without there being a cold embrace, but using the salve and the shrine to be able to back himself up. Vision spotted the fact that they were moving in there, and yeah, you can see Solo instantly pings it because he ran away from the shrine earlier than necessary on Fada because he saw no one coming up. So,
I got to be happy with this item build right now, though. 1600 HP. Not a lot of heroes would have been able to survive that onslaught at 18 minutes. Now Ace, let's see if he can survive this one. Pasha jumps forward. There's the Black Hole. Global silence as well. No way to interrupt, and that'll be a dead Drow Ranger. PPD also slowed down as he tries to save his friend, but he won't be able to get there in time. It's a quick pick for VP.
And as much as we talk about the Silencer being a big counter to the Enigma, well, they're also pretty good friends. When it pairs up together, you can't cast any of those stuns that they have plenty of on NiP if they're global.
Roger left behind, though. Bruise Split going to be used. They'll have the Boulder Toss. This will set it up for a kill on to Sven.
Yeah, it looks like they really wanted to give the kill over to Mind Control, too. Everyone else just kind of ditched.
1 for 1, but I think VP okay with that exchange. They're position 5, or well, position 4, I suppose, for the Drow Ranger.
Still a bit of a slow burn in this game. You know, 6-6, 19 minutes in, considering the Drow strat that we're witnessing here.
Certainly feels a little bit better for Virtus.pro, despite the farm being even. Terrorblade has also picked up his first big item. That's going to be the Manta style.
I do like what Sox has done, though, right? He's gone like that phase Maelstrom, too, though, so he is scaling better than the Spend at the moment.
Yep. Actually farming pretty well, just nipping at the heels of the Dragon Knight.
Pasha feels like he's getting so much room in this game, too. Just like Blink Helm, running around the map, not getting picked off, 2-0 and 1. Again, just blinks back the second there's any sign of danger. Not really getting those big pickoffs past the laning stage now for Soxa, maybe something that they'd be kind of hoping for, but again, that's because he's going this greedier strat and heading in towards just the Maelstrom Blink. But now a Halberd picked up here for Razor. One of the better parts about this pick, too. Not only was it a good matchup against the DK and forced these kind of awkward lane rotations, but it's also one of these heroes where the Halberd can be considered pretty core and a very good item against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking for an opening there, but not going to find it. Bounty Runes again will go the way of Virtus.pro, 3 for 1. Still a very even net worth spread though. Less than 1,000 gold is the favor. Very farm heavy match.
Yeah, seriously. Raj is just now starting to put his points into the cleave. Just using the God Strength to get through there. Might even head towards the Ancients, honestly, at this point, but life's good.
Bottom lane, no one. Initiated on by the Brewmaster. No Brew Split available, but Fata on his way in. Now the TP out. Global silence. No one just barely makes it, but he does live.
Bit of protection there from Solo. And that does lower the potential for rotations over the next 2 minutes, but saving no one, I'm going to call that worth it, especially when he's closing in on some of these BKB components.
This Crimson Guard not too far away. Less than 1,000 gold. Definitely one of the key items for Virtus.pro to feel comfortable with these team fights. Brew Split deployed to kill this Sven.
Yeah.
Fata now with the link, stealing some damage. They'll dive under the tower, and VP won't rotate anyone to try to save him.
This should be enough just to straight up get this tower. Like, yes, they use the global to save no one, but once that global's gone, that gives a lot of momentum over to NiP. They feel very confident just kind of pushing for engagements. They want to force one of these fights because they know they can't use the Black Hole either. Like, once global's down, Black Hole's also essentially down. I mean, maybe he can use it for like 1 second before it gets stunned, and perhaps it'll have some sort of an impact, but it's definitely not the one that you're going to be looking for here.
Right.
But this is the classic situation of the Dire team winding up on the bottom half of the map, and you can already see these Radiant heroes starting to secure vision around the Roche pit. And they're going to send Ramses back to try and deal with this bottom lane.
Seems Ramses will be sufficient. Finishes off that siege creep. Just a little bit of chip damage at the tier 3. And Fata in mind control will be completely repelled. We'll actually see Fata TP mid.
And that's where this vision that's left behind from PVD is going to be very important down that bottom lane. Like, trying to keep an eye on this area, because this Terrorblade's going to want to be playing around the mid and shoving illusions into the bottom lane. So if they can try and wrap around and maybe get a kill onto Ramses, that could open up for one of these other tier 2s.
Dagger just about there for the Wind Ranger.
This is their smoke too. They're going to try and use this ward right now with a DD rune.
And a Shadow Blade on the Drow. This is a big opportunity. How do they initiate this, though?
Perhaps even better, though. What if we can get into the Roche pit with this? This is a dangerous play to go for here. So many heroes nearby.
Global silence up in 10 seconds.
A smoke from Virtus.pro too here.
They kill it so quickly. They are showing in the bottom lane to try to distract. No one walking near the pit. He jumps in time. Roshan low, but he's still standing. There's the black hole. It connects, and this Drow Ranger's in trouble. She'll go down first. Aegis of the Immortal was snatched by no one, and it's all VP all day as PPD gets chased down. 4 dead on the side of NiP, and they don't even have an Aegis to show for it.
Fractions of a second coming in this one with that global silence. If it's not there, that fight is so difficult for Virtus.pro, but they weren't quite quick enough there for NiP. They didn't abuse the cooldown at just the right moment.
But
and
here we go.
The explosion of a Terrorblade lineup, it is very, very real in Kuala Lumpur. Seen it the entire tournament, and this match is no exception.
It all built up into that. The one silver lining for NiP is they did actually get the last hit on Roche, but look at no one. So much confidence as he jumps into the pit. The black hole perfectly placed.
Yeah, looked like maybe there's a moment just because Soxa, I think, got left out of the black hole there, but couldn't find any sort of a shackle in the very limited space. And of course, Peter, just nothing he can do there.
Absolutely brutal. Now a 3,000 net worth lead for Virtus.pro. The game still in reach for NiP.
Yeah, been a very close game this whole match. I mean, even now, just 3K lead, you said it's not that big of a deal.
But look at Ramses. He is so far ahead now. 14K net worth. The next highest is the Razor, not even at 10,000.
I mean, you just think like, all right, this damage coming from NiP, it's so physical based. And this guy has 43 armor at the moment right now, and that's without his Sven nearby, by the way.
Yeah.
the damage reduction is going to be ridiculous. He's just sitting at 68% physical resistance right now.
Yeah, he's a beefcake. And he's going to have a BKB on top of that. So physical damage, spells, none of it. Is going to be a tough one. Aegis still in the hands of the Dragonite right now, who's also picked up his fresh BKB. Definitely not your ideal Aegis carrier, but I think VP happy to get the Aegis at all out of that situation.
Yeah, and NiP also maybe just kind of shock and awe there, but they found no chance of retaliation over those past 2 minutes, and that means the global silence is back up. They still have to wait a while before they'll have the black hole in combination, but it's just enough, though, to allow them to keep progressing forward. And this Blink first, it's a very aggressive build on the Dragonite, but as long as you get some stuff done, and then you move into this BKB, it's absolutely terrifying. It's going to push them into these tier 2s so easily, and puts a lot of pressure on them now to not waste a big ulti to bring down that Aegis.
Yeah, VP ready to continue taking objectives. Still about 30 seconds till that black hole comes up, but they are all 5 in the top lane. EPD.
I'm not sure how you win this fight. Like, it must take some sort of a big shackle from Soxa.
Winner's Curse, it comes down, it's pretty well placed, but is it going to be enough? The global silence follows up as the Brewmaster jumps in. Mind Control has the BKB, he's able to get the split, but Fata, he's already gone down. The Sven deep past the tower. It just feels like they don't do much damage. Roger's a support and the Drow can't finish him off. Now no one jumps in the back line, will get the stun onto Ace. This Sven still continuing to pursue against Soxa, drops the stun. He'll be able to make it back, sidesteps the power shot, and now they'll bring down Soxa. 2 dead on the side of NiP. It's VP once more, and we're not done yet. Mind Control comes back into Panda form. He'll evade a few, more than a few, enough to blink into the trees. The TP home, but he won't make it. Pasha brings him down with the Midnight Pulse.
I'm not sure where the chat wheels went for Mind Control. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's all good.
Another 2K swing, and VP now broach the high ground. There is a glyph available for NiP, but 3 heroes dead, only 1 with buyback, and it's the one that's about to respawn. There's the glyph to try to buy time on this tier 3 tower, but Virtus.pro looking likely they'll be able to grab a lane of barracks. They're starting to back up a little bit.
They're focusing the range, too. Very patient here.
I think they're a little afraid of potential buybacks. They don't want to overcommit, playing very controlled here on the main stage, and they will back after grabbing that ranged barracks.
That is surprisingly reserved, considering that you know that there's no split, but I guess the winner's Wyvern, or Winner Curse being down. But here's the problem, is that every single spell had to be flawless in this fight for it to work. Like, the Winner's Curse would have had to kill 1 hero. They needed a 2-man shackle, and the second that they blinked it from Soxa, that global silence got off. So they lose Fado right away, and then you have the shackle and the Windstorm Panda just same target. So yeah. 2 of your big disables used on just Roger, who then comes down and war cries and has like 36 armor and laughs at you.
Yeah, once that Scotty comes out onto the Terror Blade, so hard to get away in these spread out
here we go.
fights.
The slow-mo, the slow, oh. Very nice.
VP very much in control right now. 13-7.
Oh,
it's not a big kill
pick.
score. They'll kill solo. That's nice. It's a little pick-me-up.
First one in a while there for old Soxa. Ace just doing his best to keep his bottom lane pushed out here. Has the Shadow Blade so he can play aggressively.
The mechanism was also completed on the Enigma in that last fight, so since he survived through the Winner's Curse, was able to heal up his team, and now he's upgraded those into full Guardian Greaves, so an even more difficult target to bring down.
Yeah, we've seen a pretty common trend in winning teams when it comes to itemization. It's a lot of auras.
We're seeing it
all
here.
of them. It's pretty great. So they're basically just missing the pipe. It's not even that important in this game, of course.
They're even going to have a Vlad's on the way.
And there you go. Get them all. Push for another lane here.
Some good old-fashioned 5-man Dota from Virtus.pro. They'll group up for this bottom tier 1. That will reset the glyph for the Dire at least, but
it's so team-based, right? Like, I mean, this Force Staff on the Dragonite, everything is just for the squad and honestly for Ramses. That's pretty much what we're playing for here, to make sure that his life is as easy as possible. And that's become the major trend at this tournament. It's just protect the TB, protect the Morphling, protect the Arc Warden, let them carry us to victory here. And Ramses, well, he's pretty damn good at that.
Just feels like this Drow strat has not come together. VP already at the high ground. They've taken 2 towers, and they've taken this tier 3 to a 3rd HP. There's a Winner's Curse onto the Terror Blade. It's not going to be enough, though. The global comes out. The BKBs get popped. The black hole is used, and now the damage comes. Fata taking a lot of right clicks, but there's the Cold Embrace. They'll turn on to Pasha. Still feels like NiP are running low on resources as that Razor dies.
He's just standing there. They can't even kill him.
Nice
Shackled
shackle
up.
on 2. It might be enough to bring down Razor.
Where's the
Mind
Sunder?
control
He's
blinks
silenced.
in. They grab him, and Ramses can't Sunder. VP get repelled. 4 down.
All right, NiP refusing to go down quite yet.
Wow, what an incredible silence on that Terrorblade. Perfectly timed.
It's hard to believe that was a no buybacks fight, honestly. I mean, that long-range shackle from Soxa finally finds a huge one there, allowing them to make sure that Roger can't just slip his way out of there with all those buffs going. And then, of course, as you said, the lack of the Sunder certainly hurting them there in that one.
And the cold embrace. That bought them so much time in that fight.
The cold embrace, and then the fact that they also just continue to tunnel vision onto it, like not able to find additional targets during the duration of it, too. They just kind of staunchly refuse to try and progress any further forward.
Let's take a look at the replay
I mean,
here.
it started out pretty bad, too, because Peter had the right idea. He was trying to get that curse off with the DK caught on, but this moment that he cast it, DK blinked out. The black hole was good to help target down Fodder right away, but Fodder's kind of course, you say, gets cold embraced, and the Pandas still get out, too.
Yeah, they almost killed it. They killed the other 2, and the Earth Panda still lives. It looked like a good black hole, but catching the split and the BKB target actually made it far from ideal.
And still, like, mind control so close to that Earth Panda going down, comes right back out, and still gets some work done even when he's outside the ulti form to help clean up that fight. As long as you can keep that proper spacing on the Drow Ranger, of course, you can definitely still lay in a lot of damage. Fada's just like, yeah, I'm dying, but it's still worth it, guys. We're doing it.
Well, Trent, Ace is online now. This Drow Ranger has picked up a butterfly thanks to that fight and is now number 2 on net worth. Still 5K net worth behind Ramses on the Terrorblade, but Ace is starting to do some damage. If he can sit in the back line, it is scary. Although, speak of the devil, down bottom, they catch him with a dust. Pasha blinking over the trees as well. There's no BKB on this Drow Ranger, and she should be done for. Silence does connect on both. No way to TP, and no one will find credit for the kill.
Yeah, it's a very greedy build, of course, but it's what helped them to win that fight, just the overwhelming damage that he's providing because of the lack of the BKB. But now they're just going to keep slamming their faces into these racks. And all of these auras, all of these helpful itemizations like the Force Staff, gonna have to try and find the execution, and Peter's gonna have to try and find that good winner's curse. He still doesn't have the Lotus, so the Global from Solo, still the big enemy here of NiP.
There's the winner's curse. Fada will pop his BKB. Nice shackle onto no one. That counter initiates onto the DK, but Global Silence is there, and Black Hole will connect on the Brewmaster. BKB will not be enough to get off the split. No buyback there as Sunder gets used, and Fata is brought low. Cold Embrace will buy him some time, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. They dive deep, trying to find this Winter Wyvern. They've got the stuns, they've got the damage, and now NiP in big trouble.
They don't have the buybacks.
Used by PPD, but the other 3 are locked in the grave. Drow Ranger not coming back to save this one, though she will be up in 10. Bottom
there's
barracks
no
are
protection
killed.
here, though, on mid. The heroes, there's still a lot of time.
They siege so fast here, Trent. That 10 seconds feels like an eternity. Megas could be inbound here as they focus the melee. They focus the range. There is still going to be the melee barracks standing up top, but the team already making moves. Still 2 in the grave.
Still waiting for that split. That's their best chance to fight. Now Pasha also silenced, but then grieves it.
Remember, no BKB on Ace, so these stuns are doing serious work. Roger making the space for his team to finish off the barracks, and that's going to be it. All the barracks down for NiP. They got to hold off Megas.
Oh, it's very difficult now. You start thinking about Aghanims on your Drow Ranger. Mjolnirs is an option, potentially. No one's actually back in the base, maybe helping to quell some of these chases here.
Happy to throw his life away to save his Terrorblade.
Couldn't even consider a BKB TP as there was still the winner's curse too.
Another great black hole to counter initiate onto that Brewmaster. Heartbreaker for mind control.
Even if you had like 1 Rax left, you could maybe think about Roche right now for NiP, but I think it might just be a little bit too difficult with Megas. And they're even going to start scouting it out here as Ramses sends in the illusion. But hey, that's a little bit of free damage there for Fada. That might be enough to propel them into it. They're going to buy back Unknown, who still has the Dragon form too. And they're TPing into this pit right now.
I think NiP feeling like they have to do something crazy to turn this one around, and Roshan is definitely it. They forced a buyback already. Now they jump in onto the Enigma. Pasha has a BKB, but no black hole.
No
It's
buyback.
a good pick there.
That might be enough, but remember, it
Creeps
is
are coming
Megas. And they're still chasing. BKB, but no split for mind control. No TP either. Peter will be the one sent back to deal with the waves here. But again, the question remains, can you actually do anything about this Roche? And it seems highly unlikely for NiP.
Oh, they try to initiate onto Ramses. BKBs popped all around as the global silence comes through. Ramses now turning onto Fada. This Razor is not going to be able to handle it, and he gets brought down. Ace dies on the back line. No one getting repelled by Mind Control, but Saksa locked up on the high ground, and now Mind Control focused by Ramses. The big bad Terrorblade is here, and he is unrelenting.
Windrun not going to be able to save you in the end there, and then to the pit they will go with a triple kill from Ramses, and buybacks used here for NiP just to try and hold back these creep waves, but now it's going to be Aegis and Cheese, along with all of these auras coming right back to finish off this game.
Yeah, certainly can't blame NiP for trying something like that in this scenario. Their back's up against the wall. They needed to take a fight out of their base, but it backfires. They have to burn several buybacks just to hold off the creeps. And now with the Aegis in the hands of Ramses, VP are charging right into enemy territory, looking to close this one out.
Oh, I mean, we already got ourselves that FYCK with the Aghanim Scepter. You know, this game goes a little longer. Roger with the Ags. Come on now, don't end it for us so soon, Virtus.pro. I think that might be their decision, though.
Yep, tier 4s taking some damage. There is a glyph now for NiP.
Showing no concerns about meta.
Still down for another 80 seconds. 2 heroes in the grave, no buybacks. Virtus.pro continuing to play very controlled, though. Getting these towers low, but not giving NiP an obvious moment to glyph.
Still another 30 seconds till the global silence is back up, but at this point, Peter has picked up the Lotus Orb, so they might be able to find the counterplay.
There's Curse again, sets up onto the Terrorblade, but will they have the damage to bring him down? Not even close. Ramsey's able to just walk away, as well, first tier 4 gets destroyed.
It's still 200 damage from him, though. So at the very least, that'll help drive them back off their towers. Unfortunately, the meta is still coming up.
Not for long, though. That static link damage about to expire. Not a single buyback available for NiP. Anyone that gets killed will be stuck in the grave as the second tier 4 falls. It's an exposed throne. VP just slowly chipping away with Ramses in the front line. Here it is, the black hole to close it out. Connects on 2 with a global silence to follow. They don't find the kills, but NiP are not even close to holding this one off. They'll lose the Razor. Ace now stunned up behind his throne. They're focusing objectives here, Trent.
Yeah, NiP, they're playing this one right to the end. They're going to let Throne go down, but go down it shall. Even after this glyph, there are just waves of creeps inside this base.
Yeah, too many siege creeps in the backline as well. The GG finally gets called, and it's VP that takes game 1 of this upper bracket series.
A bold pick. They opted for the Razor. And a nice little counter choice there in terms of the laning stage. Made sure that no one had himself a match, but in the end, the lanes didn't feel like they mattered all that much. Obviously, it came out even. No one got crazy ahead, and that seems to be favoring the lineup of Virtus.pro, but most importantly,